more men and people in general need to talk about this subject of pornography, porn addiction, all that stuff. Porn is one of those things that, you know, you do it on your own. There's no like camaraderie to porn. There's no like, let's watch this together like it is with smoking weed or cigarettes or whatever. Here's my take on it. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, what's good with you? Welcome back to another video. Gang. Well, go on. I appreciate you clicking on my face, clicking on the thumbnail. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My channel is all about providing you the daily dose of edutainment. In every single video, you are guaranteed to laugh, be entertained, but also learn something that you can apply to your own day-to-day life and make it better. So I appreciate you. If you don't subscribe or like the video, then
your mom's a hoe.
So make sure you subscribe and like that video, and let's take our relationship further by subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know what it is. You know how we rock. I appreciate you for rocking with me and trusting me enough with your time to subscribe. I'm grateful. You know, so like porn addiction, right? Like I was saying, you can't just hit your homie up and tell him like, yo, come over, let's watch porn. Let's watch porn together. That's not a thing, right? Like from my experience, I started watching porn at like, I don't know, grade 3, grade 4, you know. It started with softcore porn, you know what I'm saying? Like, if any of you know, you've seen that channel, like, you know, when you stay up late, that's when like the adult type of channels start coming up, right? So as you get older, your parents start letting you stay up later and later, and as a result, you start, you know, creeping up into those like non-kid friendly channels, right? So I ended up watching like stuff like Latin Lover. So for those that don't know what Latin Lover is, it's like a channel, I think it was channel 35 if I recall, back in the day, like 10 years ago, something like that now, 5 years ago. It's like softcore porn. So people, you'd watch people have sex, but you wouldn't like see the actual penetration. I think that's what softcore porn essentially is. You watch people have sex, but you can't see like the, you know, like this. You can't see it go in here. You don't see all of that action, right? So it's like, you know that they're having sex. You know that, you know, you can see like the nipples and the breasts, stickles, and all that stuff, but you just don't see like the penetration. So obviously, once you watch that, I started going on the internet, typing in things such as girl boobies or breast or penis, and then like, you know, you start gradually opening your eyes to more of that porn and stuff like that. And then this is also a time in my life where parents would let me stay at home by myself. I didn't need anybody else to be at home to watch porn. I mean, not to watch porn, but to monitor me, right? I was starting to get older, so I was responsible enough to stay at home by myself. So with all this like freedom and trust, you know, you start pushing the limits of things you can do and things you can watch, right? So it's like, it always starts baby steps, right? And so like I started watching. Once you typed in, like, you don't even know the name of it, right? When you begin watching porn, it's like all you know is boobies, ass, penis, and stuff like that, right? So obviously when you type that in, you start going through the list of sites. First I started off with images, right? I started off with images, then we went to video, then we went to the actual search bar, and you find things such as Pornhub, Xhamster, Porn.com, all that stuff. So I'm like, whoa, what is this? Actual naked people? And they show you that this thing? I'm like, okay. And I noticed, like, you know, the man downstairs was getting aroused, was getting hard. I'm like, yo, what the heck? And it's like, okay, this feels good. And the human natural desire is to go towards things that give you pleasure and go away from things that give you pain. So the first time you put your hand on a hot stove and your hand burns, your brain now remembers, do not put your hand on hot stove. Never again. But that first time you get aroused and pleasure from beating your meat and watching people have sex, your brain now remembers, yo, that gave me pleasure. I get so much dopamine spikes from doing that. Let's do more of that, right? So dopamine is like one of those like chemicals in your brain that makes you feel good. That's why you feel good when you eat, because dopamine is spiked. It feels good when you exercise. Like you feel refreshed. I mean, if anybody that's exercised like a good amount, or like woke up one day, you just feel better. Especially if you don't go too hard with your workout, you feel better after working out. So stuff like that spikes dopamine and makes you want to do more of it. I've been doing it for what, 3, 4, 5, 6 years maybe even. I know I did it all throughout high school, and it's like it's alright, but I noticed that I started experiencing and watching people I started seeing people, when I see people, especially girls, right? You start seeing them naked. Like on a regular day, I just envision my teacher naked. I'm like, oh, what would she look like if she was naked? You know? You just like, you see people, you don't see people as people anymore. You see them as like objects of your pleasure, or toys that, you know, can pleasure you, right? I know it's weird, it sounds weird, right? And like, that's not how you should be thinking of people, but that's what porn makes you think of people as. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, yo, what does she look like naked? Especially in porn with the acting, right? They have like all these scenes of like the teacher sleeping with the student, plumber coming to fix the sink, all these like fake like scenarios that are not realistic.
Muffin, how do you feel about euthanasia?
Well, I've never been to Asia, but I think that, the youth in America is probably the same. Why? Is your patient Asian?
Mr. Green, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, there's so many reasons to live.
Like what? My health?
Well, music,
I listen to goth.
movies.
I watch porn, which only makes me horny and reminds me that I want to go out the same way I came in.
How's that?
Well, I was born by the snatch. Now I want to die by the snatch. So come up here and sit on my face and take my breath away.
And you just imagine, would my teacher ever have sex with me? Stuff like that. You just wonder, like, and it just makes you think like all these sexual imaginations. And also, I was on my celibacy tip, right? I was trying to be celibate. I'm still trying to be celibate. But like towards the part when I was trying to be celibate, like, okay, I'm not having sex at the moment. Where do I take the sexual desire? Where am I putting it into, right? And that was porn. So I'm like, okay, I'm not defying God. I'm not like having sex, but I'm watching pornography. And then porn is also like not ideal for your mindset, right? So it's like you're watching high-speed sex, the baddest girls, the fattest butt, the biggest breasts, the sweetest looking, most attractive girl you could possibly think of. And I noticed that as I watched more porn, I needed more and more hardcore porn to get off. And that's what kind of like the negatives of porn, right? So it's like, first of all, it was cool. A guy and a girl having sex, I'm chill, I can get off to that. Then it became like, okay, I need a guy and 2 girls. Then I need maybe 2 guys and 1 girl, so I can see her getting smashed from the back, but also get taken, getting thrown in the front. Right? I'm graphic, but like I'm just being real, right? I'm just being real, okay? I'm just being real. And then you need like orgy scenes, like to get off too, or seeing. There's a lot. And then the thing that made me realize I need to stop it is like, so when I did start having sex, right, and I was still watching porn, I realized that I wasn't getting quite as hard during the actual sex as I was like during pornography when I was watching porn. And I wasn't, even when I wanted to come or wanted to like, orgasm, I couldn't. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going through all this, like trying to last longer, and then I can't orgasm when I want to orgasm. I'm like, and it wasn't like one off here and there, it's like on a consistent basis when I was having sex. I was like I couldn't orgasm. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yo, I'm not trying to just stroke or whatever it is for 20 minutes, 30 minutes long without getting the orgasm. And the funny thing about the orgasm is like, I was like, for a guy, it only lasts like what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds tops. And I'm like, yo, I need to change. I need to change like what's going on right now. Like this is not the motive. This is not the path. It's no. It's a no. Okay, it's a dub. So I had to like start cutting back on porn, and I started researching, like learning, like see, because like half of the battle is knowing. Knowing is half the battle. Once you know why you're addicted and how like it happens, that's like half the battle, right? To overcoming your addiction to it. Some people, it was cool. Like they can, like some people, they can just stop off the rip. But other people, because we're all different, it takes a lot more than just like wake up one day and go cold turkey and not watch it anymore. Like I tried, like I would go like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month without watching it, and then boom, I relapse, and then I watch it 2 or 3 days in a row, like boom, 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 and it's like, why did I relapse? And I realized that I didn't really like put roadblocks in place to. I also realized that the more busy I was, the less likely I was to watch porn, and the more that I put my phone in a public place and where I would be with other people and stuff like that, and left my phone downstairs. I didn't take it with me to the bedroom. Those types of things helped me like not watch porn as much and start recovering from like erectile dysfunction and stuff like that. So if you can relate with me and you want to, you know, go about ridding yourself of porn addiction and being addicted to porn, definitely check out the description, the link in the description for the Truth of Addiction program. Some people are able to go cold turkey and just straight up, that's it, they don't watch porn anymore. But other people, they'll experience multiple instances of relapsing because they have so much like neural associations to pornography, and it's so like pleasurable, right? And the more you do it, the less motivated you are to do other things in your own life, because that pleasurable experience is so high, right? It's so high, and that everything else in comparison to that is like nothing compares to it. So whether you're struggling with porn, gambling, weed, cigarettes, crystal meth, or whatever it is, get help with the Truth of Addiction program. So I was like, okay, for myself, I was like, okay, so maybe one video may not help somebody, may not be enough. What is there a program out there? Is there something that I can give people that they can go to have an accountability to get rid of their addiction? And this is the program that I found had the best reviews and was most credible in helping you as well get over your addiction. Their program and detailed videos make quitting an addiction from your own home, comfort of your own home, as easy as 1, 2, 3. And they have proven strategies to prevent yourself from relapsing. There are certain meditation practices you should be doing, and there are certain foods that you should be eating that curb your cravings and urges to watch porn in the first place. So you don't need to go to no rehab facility. You don't need to take pills for this addiction or any addiction for that matter. You can do it from the comfort of your own home with natural and scientifically proven methods that work for everybody and on any addiction. So if you want to make the smart move like my other subscribers and other viewers have, click the link in the description for the Truth of Addiction program and take back control of your life once and for all. I'm glad to share my story with y'all, and hopefully you're relatable, and hopefully you take action upon the information given to you, and don't let this video just pass by without you doing something about it. Yeah, man, I appreciate you. I have other videos about porn that you definitely want to watch in the cards, the description, and pinned comment. I'm grateful. So God bless, much love, peace and joy, namaste, and always remember, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. Don't water dead situations. All facts, no cap. Alright fam, deuces.